Приветствую вас, дорогие друзья. На дворе суббота, субботний день. И с вами снова Иисус Гейминг, как и обещал, в 3 часа по Москве организовал стримчик. И сегодня я буду стримить игру под названием The Stanley Parable. Или на наш русский язык «Притча о Стэнли». Очень много написано об этой игре. Делала ее инди-студия. Не помню уже, как называется, но не суть. Факт в том, что игра поднимает очень интересные философские вопросы. Вообще, скажем так, о смысле жизни, о нашей работе и о дне сурка. Вот. Игра с множеством количеством, короче, с огромным количеством концовок, с большим количеством концовок. Вот. И с очень интересными диалогами и сюжетом. Что ж, сделаю громкость чуть побольше. Настройки я вроде все выставил. И поехали!
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Так. Наверное, музычку стоит чуть потише сделать. Громкости музыки вот так вот, я думаю, будет достаточно. Итак. Это наш офис, наша комнатушка. Сколько времени? Время... Смотрите, часы тикают. Кстати, время 11:25 на часах. Может быть, стоит что-то нажать? Мы ничего не можем нажать, да? Так, ну Стэнли должен выйти в коридор. Давайте выйдем. Дверь закрыта.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
А чё с окнами? Почему нету? Свет искусственный, да, какой-то? Может, тут что-то написано? For the love of God, please unplug me. This Sterile office, the damp carpet, the tribe you call conversation. Kill me. I have been painting this for weeks. Why has no one turned me off yet? Господи, страшные вещи какие написаны. Смотрите, компьютер работает, да? Да, один комп работает. А что написано? Я его выключил. А обратно он уже не включается. Блин, там, наверное, может, что написано было интересно. Так, а прыгать мы не умеем. Прыгать мы не умеем. Зато умеем приседать. Вот, вот. I like work. Ладно, пойдемте дальше. Тут все закрыто, да?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Забавно. Картина какая-то. Может, здесь что-нибудь еще интересное написано? Бумажки какие-нибудь. Ничего, все засвечено. Еще один включенный компьютер. И там тоже, да, по-моему, ничего интересного такого не написано. Не вижу. Выключил. Привет, Марк. Рад тебя видеть. Да, ты практически не опоздал. Тут пока ничего еще вообще даже не произошло. Не знаю, играл ты в Stanley Parable, нет? Завязка такова. Мы оказываемся в офисе. Являемся работниками офиса. И работником офиса. И в какой-то момент тебе перестают приходить приказы о том, что делать. И, в общем, ты начинаешь задаваться вопросом, а что же случилось? Почему выходишь из своей комнатушки? Вон той вот номер 427, которая, кстати, почему-то закрылась уже. Вот. И обнаруживаешь, что офис пустой. И голос повествователя общается с тобой. Вот. Будем сейчас смотреть, что и как. Как дела? Дела отлично. Субботний день, солнышко светит за окном. Настроение прекрасное. А как твои дела? Так, давайте, может, какая-нибудь дверка откроется все-таки? Ого, там, смотрите, там какие-то другие коридоры уже. И компьютер тоже рабочий, с пасьянсом, походу. И здесь какие-то кабинеты. А окно нельзя разбить? Нельзя.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Что? Какие подсказки? Ладно, ну тут дверь открыта, это очевидно. Окей, пошли сюда. I hate Mondays. Так, а кто их любит, понедельники-то? Так. Подключить к ноуту вторую материнку с процем и видюхой. Слушай, ну ты прям шаман вообще, компьютерный какой-то.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Он вошел в дверь слева. Но есть же еще дверь справа. Это не хоррор. Нет, это такая, знаешь, типа не кликер, а это симулятор ходьбы, как это модно называть. Но тут очень интересная история с множеством концовок, которая имеет определенный философский подтекст. Так, что нам сказал этот голос? Он сказал, что мы вошли... Он вошел в дверь налево, да? Ну ладно, давайте войдем налево. Почему двери за нами закрываются постоянно? Одни и те же картины висят, самое смешное. Так. Все закрыто.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Какие-то тут что-то написано. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Не понимаю. Так, может на столе еще веселое, интересно? Я думаю, у тебя ноут, этот энергоблок на ноуте не вывезет еще одну материнку. Еще и с охлаждением. По-любому придется что-то доделывать в плане энергоснабжения. Все просто пропали куда-то. Стоп, стоп. Вы видели, надпись была, да? Стоп, стоп, стоп. Типа, стой, 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 остановись. Так, а где проектор? Его можно как-то побыстрее переключать? Он наверху. What are your dreams for the future? Success, transcend, abort, plant life, football, travel. Метамфетамин там было написано, нет? Что? Совет как не быть уволенным. Я хочу последний слайд увидеть. Там что-то стрёмное было написано. Ну-ну-ну, быстрей. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Так, вот тут у нас слайды пошли, сейчас должно быть. Это комната не менеджера. А, ну, я думаю, там ничего особенного не было написано, просто такой, типа, бред на доске какой-то, связанный с офисными работниками. Rate of increase in graphs per site. Вот сейчас еще один будет слайд. Вот, стоп. Please, no more charts, видели? Жесть какая-то. Bedroom closet. Интересно.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Так что он развернулся и вернулся на правильный путь. Слушайте, а здесь ничего нельзя взять?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Швабру нельзя взять?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way.
Может быть, здесь...
He's literally just standing there doing sweet LA.
Блин, голос вообще охренительный, в смысле, то, что он нам говорит. Ну, здесь, может, есть какие-то интерактивные предметы, нет? А прыгать мы не умеем, да?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
А я могу закрыть дверь?
Offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Дверь может закрыть, Рилли. Может просто здесь сидеть? Что он нам скажет, интересно? Если я просто буду сидеть в чулане.
There's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story.
Да, как бомжара тут в углу присяду. Так, что еще нам можно сказать?
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Вообще он рофлит нормально так.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. Not all with drug money. Also, Stanley was addicted to drugs and hookers.
Зависимость от наркотиков и шлюх.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has
У него еще такой английский акцент охренительный.
Human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Так. Все, больше он мне ничего не будет говорить. Судя по всему, все. Сломался. Мы его пересидели. Ну ладно, выходить-то отсюда реально поход придется.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Еще 2 минуты. Я уже вышел.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids.
Целый расы дефектных.
A fish, fungus. Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Так, давайте посидим. Окей. Это вызов, как это называется? Challenge accepted. Не, ну тут реально, если он так бесится, короче, тут по-любому должна быть какая-то, ну, типа, динамичность потом после всего этого. Можно реально тут посидеть минутки 2, посмотреть, изменится что-нибудь или нет. Понаблюдать, что у нас на шкафу лежит. Может, тут какие-нибудь степлер. А это нормально, что значок радиации вот на этой штуке? Вполне возможно. Посмотрим. Гаечный ключ, может быть. Я не понимаю, почему на этой какая-то катушка, на ней значок же радиации, да? Ой. Я нечаянно звук отключил себя в наушниках. Что это может быть? Что эта херня забыла в офисе со значком радиации? Так, сколько мы уже тут сидим? Минуту точно. Кто-нибудь засекал время? Жалко, здесь лечь нельзя. Ну да, походу это. Походу ничего интересного. Пойдемте дальше.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ага, наверх. Ладно, предлагаю первый раз делать все точно так, как он говорит. Весь стрим сидел в кладовке, но это было бы уникально, я бы сказал. Блин, у меня солнышко светит в окошко, и я, честно говоря, тут почти ни хрена не вижу. Сейчас я яркость выкручу на максималку. Так. Что у нас тут? Какие-то бумаги. Компьютер включить нельзя. Вам хорошо все видно? Главное, чтобы вам было хорошо видно, потому что меня просто чисто от экрана отсвечивает. Отлично. Так, а здесь сюда можно зайти? Здесь закрыто. Смотрите. Сюда есть вход. Executive bathroom. Закрыто. Отсюда мы вошли, да? Правильно? Правильно. Привет, Анастасия. В The Bunker? Нет, в The Bunker не играл. Тоже интересная штука какая-то.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Какие темные секреты.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845, 2845. Так, а здесь, может быть, еще есть какое-то секретное место?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Спасибо, Марк, что продублировал, а то это... Я бы мог, на самом деле, реально забыть. Так, ребят...
2845.
Да я понял, рассказчик, я понял. Ребят, секунду, я, короче, повешу сюда на окно себе сейчас эту приборчик один, чтобы не отсвечивал, а то очень некомфортно. Буквально минутка. Я никуда не ухожу, я здесь. На самом деле это коврик для занятий, просто я его к стеклу присобачу. Так.
Стул возьму. Стул.
Господи. Так, все. Все. Я чуть не упал. Советую, почитай о ней. Эта игра полностью отснята с реальными актерами, как фильм. Только их действия от твоих зависит. А, интерактивный фильм, я понял. Довольно сильная штука. Я летсплей смотрел, чуть на слезу не пробрало.
And the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Чё? Что произошло? Спасибо. Я ее где-то в секонде взял еще в Москве, по-моему. Так, а где эта кнопка-то? Никто не помнит, где он сказал, где кнопка расположена? За столом, что, где-то справа? А чё, что-то двери закрылись? Все, нас тут заперли? А, вот какая-то херня открылась. Ё-моё. Понятно. Понятно. Так, ладно, пойдемте. Здесь просто темнота кромешная, глядите. Так, ладно, поехали вниз. Спасибо, Анастасия, за совет. Я обязательно почитаю, посмотрю, может быть, даже стримчик запилю. Спасибо.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Интересно.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind Control Facility. Ужас какой. Смотри, мы спустились вниз, и здесь как Mind Control Facility находится. Escape. Ого, здесь еще один поворот, смотрите. Так. Но сначала, наверное, мы пойдем сюда. Слушайте, надо запоминать все разветвления. Уже как минимум несколько разветвлений было. Да, сейчас сначала пойдем по сюжету прямо, чтобы было логично. Все. Блять, нормально, что темно просто вокруг. Это как, знаете, кто смотрел Людей Икс, это Церебро, короче. Этот прибор, который Ксавьер надевал себе на бошку. Такое же огромное помещение было, и он там мог мысли читать у людей по всей планете. Тут какие цифры.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Страшно что-то, ребят. Что здесь написано? Employee Observation Protocol. Ну ладно.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Уволен. Давайте посмотрим, что на картинках уволенных. Вон уволен. Там пусто. Надо, кстати, знаете что, ребят? Надо записать номера, да, интересных экранов, где что-то, что отличается от других. Смотрите, уволен. И вон уволен. Это номера какие? Непонятно, да? Они же по порядку идут, да? 103, 104 номер и 601, я так понимаю, да? Надо где-нибудь, блядь, записать. Напишите кто-нибудь в чате 104, 601. Да, отлично. Потом смотрите, еще есть на некоторых экранах красное это. Какой-то типа... Он вообще один такой. Экран. А, нет, два. 528, по-моему, да? Да, 528. И вон тот еще. 0,28. Так, все вроде. Остальные вроде все целы. Так, ну что ж, поехали дальше, посмотрим.
Там больше сломанных. Там больше сломанных.
Чего ты говоришь?
Там еще и сломанные.
Еще какие-то сломанные есть, я не вижу. Ну ладно, хрен с ними. В принципе, я думаю, этого достаточно. Я просто больше сломанных не вижу.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Жизнь какая. Какие-то кнопочки непонятные. Так, а куда идти-то? Facility Power. Там, смотрите, что-то наверху еще есть. И внизу что-то есть. Console disabled. Так, давайте попробуем наверх подняться, посмотрим, что тут. Четыре. Не представляю, что это значит, но я нажал. Один, два. А, смотрите. Один, два. А где номер 3? А, вот 5-й номер. Так, а где 4-й? А, вот 3-й. Слушайте, может, понажимаем их все? В порядке. Раз. Два. Три. Четыре. Так, и 5-й вон. Жалко, здесь шифта нету, чтобы бежать. Ничего не произошло. Я потратил просто 4 минуты своей жизни. Просто так. Mind controls idle awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Так, чё, on нажать или off?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start.
Так, может быть, как-то отключить?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
Ой.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Дверь-то открыта была.
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance.
Charge, смотрите.
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office
Надо заря как-то
swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich.
Господи, тут какая-то целая задачка смешная. 3 нужно найти кнопку 3. 10.
Only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
Сколько осталось?
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Нет?
Oh, dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it on?
Надо найти кнопку 3, может быть?
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite an experiment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still
Он что-то добавил, что ли?
I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
Я не понимаю, что происходит.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Goodbye.
Take the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately?
Что за дичь?
Peacefully. Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Так. Окей. Мы не нашли выход. И появились снова в нашем офисе. Так, нам нужно опять нажать, короче, включить. Он включает там ядерные заряды. Как-то надо... там дверь открывается, короче, на первом этаже. Он прям перед нашим носом ее закрывает. Нам нужно как-то найти способ ее открыть, короче, вот за эти 2 минуты. Интересно. Ладно, пойдемте. Снова спустимся туда. Справедливо? Да, да, там по-любому надо, короче. А компьютеры также все работают, интересно? Ого! Смотрите, еще сколько нужно? 1, 2, 3, 4. Еще 4 компьютера нужно включить. Да? Awaiting input. Блин, господи, какая мутная и напряженная игра.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Так, давайте пойдем по такому же сценарию. «104, 601 и 028». Какие у нас были там эти комнаты интереса? Но мы их сейчас тут не увидим.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
А в тот раз она закрыта была. Я вам отвечаю, она в тот раз была закрыта. I've got the feeling. Чё, money is for stealing, but not yours, of course. So, let's lonely pores. Это стишок, да, я так понимаю? Extreme bathrooms. Интересно. Ничего мы тут не можем нажать? Туалет спустить. Так, окей. Хорошо. Это было закрыто в прошлый раз все. Черт, здесь тоже какой-то лифт есть. Бизнес-стратеджи. Глядите, к панде просто пистолет приставили. Бизнес-стратегия. Блин, что за угар вообще? Так, а здесь еще написано I'm the most expensive boss. Я самый богатый босс. Ну вот это, блин, это вообще, это шедевр, ребят. Так, ладно, спускаемся вниз.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind.
Говорят, спастись нельзя, если нажать он никак.
But his attention was caught by a key.
Там же дверь была открыта.
What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Так, тогда мы нажимаем там off. получается. Одну концовку мы уже получили. Если нельзя спастись там, то тогда хрен с ним. Значит, тогда нажимаем Off, выключаем эту машину смерти.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Нам нужно, получается, концовки находить, скажем так, от конца. То есть от большего от частного к меньшему, блядь. Ну, короче, вы поняли. То есть, чтобы не запутаться. Сначала нужно концовки в определенном сегменте все пройти.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Так. Идем дальше.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was
Never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly
Never.
spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded.
А зачем тут эти кнопки тогда?
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
Они ж тут, наверное, не просто
Stanley
так.
decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ладно, давайте отключим всю эту херню.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
А если я не выйду? Некуда больше деваться. Такой бред! Такое безумие!
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Мне получило достижение в Стиме. Beat the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Погодите.
He decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Типа, блин, я же не даун, по-другому комната выглядела. Мы выходили в другое место. Чё за фигня? Welcome to the whiteboard ending. Консоль. Чё там написано? Seven Bark? А тут можно консоль открыть? Давайте по приколу посмотрим. Actions Key. Консоль. Так я ее нажал. Но она не открывается. Так, тогда, может быть, другую кнопку? Она, бывает, не всегда работает. Я не знаю, пусть будет... Семиколон. Я не знаю, что это. Какая-то, блин. Вот это вот пусть будет. Так. Но она же не открывается. А почему не открывается-то? Блин, безумие какое-то. Тут может с ума сойти. Есть там что-то, нет? А здесь?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
А! Вот эти две двери.
When
Так,
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
пойдем опять налево. Какие у нас там номера? А, ну, понятно.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Так, здесь мы были, да? Да. Так, вот лифт можно вызвать. А это баг какой-то или мне кажется? Я один это вижу? Типа, вот, что такое? Ну ладно. Видите, текстуры какие-то непонятные? Они поют Стэнли. Бля, вы гоните, что ли? Тут все то же самое, да? Чё это за лифт такой? То есть, типа, тут что, никакой концовки, типа, нет? Или здесь какое-то время сидеть надо будет? Тут, видите, все как будто это... Трещит что-то. Как будто игра ломается. Ничего серьезный, просто ничего. Блин, что здесь за жизнь? Так, ладно.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Сволочи!
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Так.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Так, теперь мы поворачиваем налево.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Violent death.
Там еще было несколько концов.
Так, сейчас, секундочку, мне тут... Это The Stanley Parable, Роскомнадзор. Игра...
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Развернуться и вернуться на это. Короче, очень интересная игра с кучей концовок. Такая достаточно философская притча о Стэнли. Почитай о ней. Так, сейчас, секундочку, мне тут женщина подскажет, что еще какая-то. Куда?
Там еще есть концовки в том повороте.
Да? А чё, куда? Блин, жесть какая-то. Ну ладно, пойдемте здесь. Я не хочу назад. Так, здесь мы еще не были.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Господи.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
Так, а выбраться-то можно?
Of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Да я...
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated.
Я первый раз играю, да.
The machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Я не понимаю.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Блин, у меня сейчас крыша сорвет, короче. Тут такие вещи страшные говорят на самом деле. Если начнешь в них вникать... Nature Paintings. Типа холл бога, что ли? Стэнлис компьютер. Что, блядь? Так, смотрите, это... Офис layout. Ну мы потом начали в другом месте же. The two doors. Так, а здесь что написано? Коридор. Жесть какая. Так. Что-то... Feeling cabinets. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Office computers. Блин, мне страшно, я не понимаю. Кредит. Это нормально? Типа разработка. Так, смотрите, налево-направо. Тут же два разных пути, наверное, да? Что? Warzone? Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as a making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Alien Buzz. На субнаутику похоже, кстати. Какая-то дичь. Так. Это что такое? The apartment timer. Ни хрена не понимаю. Тут какие-то куча мест. Слишком сложно для подсознания. Это вообще, да, это на самом деле игра, которую мозг скрывает. Так, погодите. Я что-то вообще нахер запутался. Так, вот тут мы поднимались, да? Окей. Ага. Экзит. Здесь что-то только что ж горело. Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending in existence in beta. Так. А вот тут я повернул налево, да? А здесь я вернулся направо. Босс-офис. Возможно. Так, ну я... Смотрите, exit. Давайте вот сюда вот пойдем.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Мне кажется, у меня после этой игры депрессия начнется. Очень жестокая причем. Все? Это одна из концовок? Да ладно! Сволочи, зачем они так делают? Просто черный экран. Жесть! То есть это вечный черный экран, да? То есть надо начать игру сначала нажать. Дичь какая вообще! Это что такое? Ладно. Так, там была еще одна какая-то херня. Так, смотрите, а мы опять через другой офис вышли.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Эта игра вообще, это какой-то трэш. Так. Чекай все компы и комнаты. Я вроде все чекаю.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Без продвижения? Ты видел, что только что произошло, Марк? Ты видел, где мы были вообще? Во, уже 2, а был 1. Там вообще безумие. Да, мы уже 4 концовки видели. Я вырубаю, я вырубаю.
Clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Так.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ты тут, Марк, на самом деле очень кислотные вещи пропустил. Так, давайте снова налево. Почему некоторые без номеров?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no. Not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Так.
To a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets. He pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Жесть! Это реально адский день сурка. Это, блин, это просто безумная игра абсолютно. Так, мне что-то тут женщина моя под... Что ты мне подсказываешь? Куда в другую сторону надо повернуть?
Не догадываешься сделать какие-то вещи необычные. Взять, не пойти и вернуться обратно, например.
Хуя себе, я так далеко не заглядывал, Настя.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Так, мы там все... Там, блин, еще какие-то, говорят, концовки есть. Но я хрен его знает. Я хочу еще раз сюда пойти.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
В той комнате с экранами?
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Охренеть. Я все вроде эти в твоем офисе концовки и в соседних кабинетах. Я же вроде все открывал там.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
Чё там в окне?
He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what
Пожар, что ли?
perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plugging the eye.
Ребят, у нас тут в соседнем доме пожар, походу. Приехали пожарники. Приехала скорая.
Может быть, просто кто-то решил выпилиться.
Выпилиться?
Не знаю, там человек на балконе стоит. Чё?
Блин, может вебку как-то отсоединить, показать вам, короче, это очень интересно.
Может, кого-то спасает.
Может кто-то выпилиться захотел, ребят. Тут, короче, огромное количество пожарных, скорая, куча людей, все что-то наблюдают.
Может быть, кота просто спасает.
Кота спасают? Не думаю. Ну ладно, будем следить за развитием событий, ребят. Так, поехали дальше.
A blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
О, господи. Так.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Так.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Нарушение мозга. Роскомнадзор, мне кажется, это весело. Это...
Никит, мне страшно.
Это просто бесконечность. Слушайте, там кран поднимается. Блин, ребят, я вам, короче, сейчас вебку... Я покажу, что происходит. Серьезно, это очень интересно. Я, короче, беру вебочку. Занавеску открываю. Блять, как ее тут похитрее открыть-то? Короче, вон пожарка, глядите. И это... Они, короче, поднимаются кому-то на балкон. И ломятся, смотрите, там что-то... Я хуй знаю, что происходит вообще. Там реально, вот смотрите, пожарники. Это ж... Смотрите, сколько народу вышло, короче, на балкон. И все глядят, всем интересно. Там, может быть, я не знаю, вон скорая стоит. Вон, возле входа. Возле входа. Короче, и там, видимо, кто-то то ли заперся, может, кто-то кого-то выпилить хочет, я не знаю. Но ментов вроде нету. Ну, тут все стоят, зеваки стоят, всем интересно. Ну, мне интересно, они окно разбивать будут? Они там постучались, смотри, вежливо. Типа, алло. Что за безумие-то? Пожара нет, потому что иначе бы дом горел, наверное, уже, правильно?
Вот эту штуку просто не видно.
У меня просто провод дальше не тянется. Ну, что-то снизу орут им. Во, они прямо ловятся кому-то в окно, короче. Может, чьи-то родственники просто запаниковали, короче, ребят, я не знаю. Ладно, будем следить за развитием событий. Соряныч за такое отступление. Мне кажется, это было весело. Ну, типа, я не знаю, просто это, если эта многоэтажка рядом с моим домом загорится, будет не очень здорово, мне кажется. Ладно, поехали дальше. У меня тут жена моя продолжает следить в окне, что там происходит. Так, вот еще одна. Вот тут я точно не был, да? Вон оттуда я спускался.
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his lucky wishes? Does that sound plausible to you?
Так, погодите. Я думал, это еще одна концовка.
Я бы обосралась, если ко мне в окно мог постучать.
Я думал, это еще одна концовка. А это не еще одна концовка. Нет, ничего не нажалось. Это комната с изображением концовок. Охренеть. Но вот эта концовка-то здесь получается одна из этой стороны. Или в этой белой херне есть еще какие-то концовки? Там вон включенный комп, как мне за него добраться? Он же за стеклом. Нет? Так, ладно, давайте просто вернемся. Или за... Хотя, если я вернусь, что произойдет?
Oh, Oh, look
Так,
at
это мы
these
уже
two.
видели.
How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Они в соседнее окно стучат.
Чё, они в соседнее окно стучат?
Да, в соседнее окно ловят кого-то.
Какое-то безумие.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Стрёмно
No,
немножко.
perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit.
Ты знаешь, что такое безумие? Да, это повторение одного и того же действия в надежде на изменения. Это вот это об этом. Это реально безумие. Это на самом деле игруха, реально, она заставляет, мне кажется, очень о серьезных вещах задуматься.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Нормально, что the end is never. The end is never. Что-то вообще как-то, ребят. The end is never. Закрыто все.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Так, у нас слева еще очень много дел осталось. Все закрыто.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Hi, help, I'm posted. Жизнь русского работника в России. Ха, нормально, она заколочена. Жесть. Я думаю, вообще офисные работники это, скажем так, всемирное понятие, не только в России. То есть вот этот офисный планктон, я думаю, это понятие приемлемое не только к России. Это реально мировая проблема. А здесь стишок. Погодите, а это нормально, что здесь другое стихотворение уже написано? Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Тут была другая надпись. Так, это бесконечный лифт. Ты видел, кстати, Роскомнадзор, вот эту вот надпись? Бизнес стратеджи. И ствол, приставленный к бедной панде. Это же гениально. Это же вообще топ.
У меня есть подозрение, что еще будут окно разбивать.
Окно разбивать? Слушай, ну если там какой-нибудь маньяк, например, включил газ... Вот дверь, просто иди. Так. Так, а что если мы вернемся назад? Вот просто развернемся. Здесь просто какой-то Я куда-то забрался. Так, выйти мы не можем. Что-то произошло. Камера. Не, ну реально ничего не происходит? А если я захочу на лифте вернуться, например?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Так, ладно, налево там все ясно вроде. Здесь еще какие-то, может, мы концовки пропустили.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
А выключить нельзя заново? Можно спрыгнуть. Нельзя. Так, что там? Пожарники думают до сих пор, ломать, походу, окно или нет. Чего?
Они просто, по-моему, отдыхают.
Отдыхают. Так.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Там вон какой-то еще этот есть.
Eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Ничего здесь нельзя нажать? А выйти обратно? Отключить тоже никак нельзя? Как я не могу назад вернуться? Может просто повеситься на шнуре? Нет?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring?
Жизнь это смерть, смерть это жизнь. Да-да-да. А я вот не хочу в него заходить. Что если я буду тут сидеть? Прыгать нельзя, ничего нельзя. Там вон какой-то трамплин еще есть. Не ехать на лифте? А! Открылась дверь, смотрите. Что? Это что за жесть? Что это за безумие? Так, ладно. Ты, отец, ты это видел, ты это видел. А чё, дверь-то закрыта? Когда все это безумие закончится?
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
А можно успеть зайти в лифт и выйти обратно? И чтобы он уехал?
His entire life utterly blind to the world. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad. Or content.
Так, Настя, а здесь ничего такого, да, нету?
Working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Мозг сломан.
Would dismantle the controls.
Вот, тут же дверь какая-то есть. Неужели из нее выйти никак нельзя? Точно нету никакой вот? Или есть?
Там очень много везде концов.
Ну вот здесь, вот в этой... Так, ладно, попробуем. Тут, короче, смотрите, какая ситуация. Надо, короче, включить эту херню. Я уже тут был.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Control?
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation?
Я не понимаю, как консоль включить. 30 подписчиков? Ура! 30-й подписчик. Я не знаю, как тебя зовут, но я тебя приветствую. Вот, смотрите, видите, дверь открыта. И он закрыл ее. Вот тут чардж, смотрите.
more time to talk about you.
Надо как-то заряд увеличить.
Where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Чего они окно ломают?
What's that?
Окно
You'd like
выламывают.
to know where your co-worker.
Так, ребят, тут окно выламывается.
Ну там не видно особо.
Ну ладно, хрен с ними.
are.
Так, номер
A
3.
moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell
Я же нажал
I
кнопочку
simply
3.
let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Везде кнопочка 3.
This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to
Есть
make sense
10.
of everything and take back the
Есть
control
дом.
wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
Их в 3 attempts
I'm
remaining.
going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that
Я не
timer
понимаю.
that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? One?
Как этот заряд зарядить? Я не знаю.
Any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Чего ты, Настя, говоришь?
Они просто вытащили окно аккуратненько и зашли туда.
Короче, пожарники вытащили окно и зашли в квартиру. Это какой этаж-то? Раз, два, три, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 этаж.
8.
Как 8? Раз, два, три, 4, 5, 6, 7. А, 8, да.
По-польски 7.
По-польски 7. Жесть какая-то.
But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you...
Incorrect.
Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley
Button, mind, continue, что?
And Stanley died again.
Goodbye.
Take a look at the clock.
Goodbye, employee 427. Что?
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Ну как мне выйти-то отсюда?
Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Короче, не разобрался я тут, что тут надо нажимать. Но одну концовку мы еще видели.
Ничего больше нет.
С дискотекой. Туц. Прими смерть достойно. Смотрите, видите, после этой концовки, после взрыва, генерируется выход по-разному. Чего ты говоришь? Господи, мне тут женщина подсказывает всяческие концовки. Короче, не ладно, все, не смущай меня. Так. Я знаю, куда мы сейчас слева пойдем еще. Так, здесь все закрыто.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Так, пойдемте тут теперь по лестнице вниз.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Спрячемся под лестницей, будем плакать просто. От безысходности.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Погодите, мы тут были уже.
Part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Это, блядь, безумие абсолютное какое-то. Просто вышка. Так. А чё если просто остаться в комнате? Чё если просто остаться в комнате?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Все, что ли? Да ладно. Дичь какая. Так.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Все закрыто все равно.
Oh, and I guess this is where Stanley felt he needed to be right now, in this little hallway. Here, with no distractions, to study room 417. Not to actually enter it. No. That would be far too forward. Stanley wanted to know it from the outside. To see it not just with his eyes, but with his heart. He would know room 417 as no man or woman had ever known an office before. That ladder over there. Oh, and that little picture of a horizon or something. It's all just a never-ending parade of joy for Stanley. Ah, no, apparently not.
Так, а если там подольше постоять? Слушайте, ну это вообще игра, конечно, блин. Просто очень кислотная. Если мы постоим, тут ничего не произойдет. Оп, оп, оп. Так, ладно.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Так, а я пойду на дверь направо.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Так, а какие у нас там цифры были? В смысле, компьютер работает. Какие у нас там были эти цифры? Сейчас. 104, 601, 528. Ага. Так, пошли дальше. Че у тебя там, Марк, заработало все?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Время двигается, кстати.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Так, а если я тут чуть-чуть еще задержусь? Какая-то тетрадочка.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Только включаешь уже 40%.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue.
Я тебе говорю, энергоблок еще один
When a long
нужен.
time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
В окно можно выбраться. Да ладно, в самом начале игры. Жесть. Так, а если я закрою дверь? Не закрывается. А если я попытаюсь выйти? Не выходится. Что делать-то? Настя, сделаешь чаю мне, пожалуйста? Спасибо. Так, ну ладно, давайте выйдем.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Первая дверь слева. А я не хочу. Или хочу. Слушайте, а время-то двигается потихоньку, да? Смотрите, там еще прямо есть. Так, ну ладно, давайте зайдем в первую дверь слева.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Господи, здесь еще лифт вниз есть. Ага. Это вход в конференц-зал. Погодите. А выйти тут нельзя? Можно. Так. Так, а если я пойду обратно? Блин.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Так, а если мы снова пойдем вниз, мы опять сойдем с ума?
Coming to the staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Так, ну понятно, короче. Начинаем сначала. Так, а как выброситься в окно в самом начале?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Что-то здесь изменилось у нас?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Мне тут подсказывают, что в окно можно выброситься как-то. Я не знаю, как этого сделать. Тут же нельзя прыгать?
По стулу.
А?
По стулу.
Чё по стулу?
По стулу залезть можно.
Можно залезть? Присесть.
На стул сначала залезть.
О! Так, а как мне переступить через эту... Через эту... О! Что?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag? No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh,
Спасибо.
now think about it. Would it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
В следующий раз уже нужно выключить 5 компьютеров в разные народы.
Так, а что делать-то? А, тут просто можно вечно сидеть. Так, ладно.
Свой комп тоже выключу. Свой комп выключу.
Он не выключается.
Все какие видишь, выключу.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Так, я хочу еще раз, да, выбраться.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Это у меня контактор, ребят.
Okay, I'm
Не паникуйте.
What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Так, а теперь
Well, I
давайте...
don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was
Жалко, не перевели песенку.
particularly gangly.
Игруху вообще мозг взрывает.
Best was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Yes.
Will become quite unbearable.
Так, а музычка так и будет до конца теперь играть? Интересно. Люблю гитару. Тут безумный белый фон, это вообще страшно очень. И никуда больше двигаться нельзя. Слушай, реально бесконечно будет так играть? Так, понятно.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Так, пойдемте дальше. Нигде мы никуда собраться не можем.
Oh, and I guess this is where Stanley felt he needed to be right now, in this little hallway.
Так, а на это мы
Here,
уже
with no
видели.
Ah, no, apparently not. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door.
Это не игра, а издевательство. Это проверка на твою адекватность, я не знаю. Так, есть выход прямо.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Так. Проверка на тупость и дизмораль. Как далеко ты готов зайти?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Так, а здесь нельзя двери открыть? То есть отсюда мы никуда не можем выйти. Ладно.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
А если бы я успел выбежать? Наверное, не успел бы. А вернуться нельзя?
No, 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 not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Что за безумие? Нельзя никуда залезть. А, блин, это комната.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just...
Спасибо, Надь.
Back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Жесть!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
День сурка. Все смотрели ведь с Биллом Мюрреем фильм «День сурка»? Вот это вот все об этом. Смотрите, там тоже... Что-то, мне кажется, там раньше что-то другое было, не? За стеклом. Так.
When Stanley... Wait. Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Something changed. Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Что, блядь, сколько тут дверей? Погодите. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть. Ёб твою мать. Так, а нельзя перелезть через эти? Так, ладно, давайте пойдемте в самую... Так, погодите. По логике вещей... По логике.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely.
Знаете, что мы никакую концовку не прочекали еще? Наверное, чтобы появились вот эти множество дверей, нужно пройти именно по тому пути... А, стоп! Блять, он уже опять все перезапустил. Что за херня?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Что за дичь? Вот сейчас мне уже реально страшно становится, потому что мы потеряли контроль над ситуацией явно. Самое смешное, что все двери открыты. Так. Блять, чего?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Это как, знаете, гифка та с этой, с девчонкой, девушкой, которая говорит, чего, блять? Вот тут такая же херня. Так, мы возвращаемся, да? А если я тут хочу остаться? В этой комнате, в углу. Просто заплакать. Ничего не произойдет? Видимо, нет. Так, пошли обратно. Так, нас же пустили обратно, все правильно? Может, какая-то дверь откроется на этот раз?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Погодите, если я вернусь. Господи, знаете, мне что напоминает? Фракталы, короче. Зафракталило, короче. Какое-то определенное безумие. Ладно. Бля, вас ничего не смущает? Глядите. То есть здесь, по идее... Должна быть стенка, да? Что? Что за хуйня?
Wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Бля, мне страшно, ребят. Я не понимаю. Я начинаю сходить с ума. У меня теперь паническая боязнь офисных зданий.
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
Пугайте, странное место.
What might happen this time? I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Что ты говоришь? Ого! Вот мы там не были еще. Так, а здесь дверь не откроется? А если я пойду прямо? Я уже, блядь, окончательно запутался.
No, no, I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
А, понятно. Есть тупик. Ладно, идем за полосой. О, компьютер. Надо выключить. Надо же его выключить как-то. Почему стул так неудобно стоит? Я хочу его выключить. Ну там же пасьянс, блядь. Как же его выключить-то? Ладно. Так. Сорок 4Б6.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Но он там, кстати, очень интересные метафизические вещи задвигал.
Right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Чё за жесть? А как так? Погодите. Ничего не происходит, если мы просто по кругу бегаем. Так, ладно. Что-то, по-моему, с полосой проблем какие-то, да? Что происходит? Мне страшно. Так, а какие там двери были? 028. Бля. Бля, что это такое? Так, погодите, я сделаю, во-первых, потише музыку, потому что она вообще мозг взрывает. Громкость музыки потише немножечко. Еще надо потише сделать. Потому что мне становится страшно. Психологическая атака, реально. Как, блядь, это возможно? Что это за хуйня, блядь? Что это за хуйня? Так, они идентичные? Подождите. Они идентичные? Нет, они ж, блядь, разные. А, стоп. Глядите. Вот этот вход. Тут мы смотрим с того конца, а там с того... То есть с того, короче. Тихо, а если я по ней пойду? Ебать, там комната. О, исчезла! Она исчезла! Бля, наркомания, мне страшно. Что за бе... Слава богу.
Look at that fern, Stanley. This fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Что, блядь? Какой папоротник, вы о чем?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Так, а мы вот в прошлый раз вышли вот сюда. Господи, мне страшно. Я просто не... Я не понимаю, что происходит. Так, а если мы вернемся сюда? Так, а если... Погодите, а если мы вернемся назад? Откуда мы начали? Так, ничего не происходит. Окей, а если мы пройдем туда? Так.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
Так, ладно, нам остается идти сюда. Блять.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Какой-то ад. Он уже, заметьте, он уже даже ничего не говорит.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Бля,
Ready for it.
это что за фракталы? Господи. А мы можем вернуться назад? О.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Что, блин, происходит?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay. The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, 8 8 times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well...
А это сколько было рестартов? Он не...
Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep...
Hit restart. The narrator is gone after a long time. Stanley dies.
Restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean... did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Ой, это что такое было? Блять. Просто внезапно все перезагрузилось.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Так, погодите.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Так,
This was not the correct way to the
снова
meeting,
идем
and
направо.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
А, желтая полоса! Ебать, страшно. Я теперь ее боюсь. Так.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Погодите, у нас были еще разветвления внизу? Вон там вот. Я не помню. Концовка с где множество дверей. Можно во все них, интересно, зайти или нет? Ну ладно. Так, давайте пойдем прямо. Ой, блядь.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Чего, блядь? Внимание, не лги. И если ты лжешь сейчас, остановись. Так. И по подъемнику до конца. А я хочу вниз. Это что-то изменит? Я же могу прыгнуть. Так. Ой, смотрите. А, нужна карточка. Что, ты можешь просто прыгнуть?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Могущественный Стэнли. Блядь, безумие.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Знаете, я уже начал задумываться над своей жизнью после этой игры, честно говоря. Стоит ли моя жизнь вообще того? Все ли я правильно, блядь, делаю? Ну это же реально. Как они дошли, что они курили?
Stanley came to a set of two open. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
А здесь нет уже этой полосы. А в тот раз была.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Так, не, мы снова идем прямо.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not jump from the cargo. Lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. $1000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift. $5000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you be... What? Really? In the middle of something, do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Блин, он такой... У него такой английский акцент потрясающий. Danger everywhere. Не открывается. Warning, do not stand on this side of fence.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Какую он сказал, в красную? Я не хочу выполнять его указания. Я хочу пойти в синюю дверь.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Нормально, что им переместили дверь нам за спину? Дичь какая.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Так, назад выйти нельзя. Ебать, это что за...
You see? There's nothing here. I
Это
haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Чего? Так, а если я верну, пойду куда-то сюда. А если я сюда пойду? Блин, я не могу, во всей моей вонючей жизни не было столько выбора, сколько здесь. Я не понимаю, что к чему приведет. Мне страшно. Ну ладно, пойдемте в рыжую. Смотрите, деревянная дверь. Прям как...
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Пятерку поставим.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that
Привет, Артём! 123. Приветствую тебя на моем стриме.
Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Worldwide leaderboard. Что за жесть? Через что ты стримишь? Через ОБС. Так. Окей. Лидерборд, а я Стэнли. Из онлайн. 7 часов 37 минут. Что? 9328.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Долго настраивал. Ну, как бы тебе сказать-то, все приходит с опытом. С первого раза, понятное дело, то есть какого-то топового качества ты не получишь. Вообще идеальной картинки не бывает. Даже через XSplit там и прочее нигде не найдешь. Придрачивался, исходя из своего железа. Вот. Я сейчас, например, даже не через процессор стримлю, то есть не через X, какой там, 264 кодек, а через видюху, через GeForce NVSync. Меня это качество больше даже устроило. И комп не так насилуется, как это, от процессорного кодека. Так. Давайте еще пятерочку поставим.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Так, это что, заново, да, у нас? Ой.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. All about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. The art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Stanley Parable.
Notes on your experience.
Однозначно стоит. Очень философская игра. Четыре часа? Да ладно. Вот тут вот концовка будет, если 4 часа слушать его плач и нажимать на кнопку. Да, я не хочу рисковать. Бессердечный-то. Что за дичь?
I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Время на компе ты имеешь в виду? Да не, но это не серьезно.
Okay, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Майнкрафт, что ли?
The one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Да уже поздно.
I'll say this. I'm done
Уже
making
поздно,
things for
Артём.
you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Где он?
We'll go here, no, here, and then.
Чего это такое?
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course, and just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this.
И устыдись своей бесталанности.
Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience.
Мы в Майнкрафте, Роскомнадзор.
Make yourself comfortable.
Тут такая дичь, я уже ничему не удивляюсь. Тут такое происходит, просто ад какой-то. Так, давайте зайдем.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of
Из алмаза чего?
diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Что это такое? Let's play. Музычку подрубили, главное, слышите? Господи, как хорошо, что я... Это реально чепачем надо быть, чтобы такие вещи придумывать. Так, мы идем добывать алмазы.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Нет. Мне нечем подсветить. Куда мы идем? Мне страшно. Мы же шли добывать алмазы.
No. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Там кто-то храпел. Портал, да ладно!
I don't know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired.
Это же Портал!
Myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
А как они не нарушили права чьи-то? Я не знаю, как они это сделали? Как они до этого дошли вообще? Они реально заплатили или договорились? Что? Как это возможно? Это же Портал. Aperture Laboratories, really? Aperture Science? Что за херня? Как?
It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Блин, они даже механику, да ладно, сделали, ты что?
Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game,
Революционная идея.
and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think I'll just go about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Ой, там что-то внизу есть. Work in progress бета. Просто нет слов. У меня тоже, я вообще не понимаю, что происходит. Куда идти-то, блядь? Блядь, я просто куда-то вывалился. Чего? Так, Это чё, все открытые двери? Тут ни хрена не видно, блин. Тут это что, тупик у меня перед, да? Так, я, короче, буду смотреть через ОБС, потому что здесь дико темно. Я вообще ничего не вижу. Я, блядь, просто ничего не вижу. Так. ОБС будет моим этим. Сам дьявол работал над созданием этой игры, походу. Либо очень неадекватные люди, которые собрались все вместе. В одном месте. 508. А какой у нас номер комнаты был? Блять, я не понимаю, я вообще заблудился. Так, погодите, вот отсюда мы вывалились, походу, да? Я тоже ничего особо не вижу. Who designed this? Who designed this shit? Так, ладно, пойдем прямо. 423. О, свет! Господи, слава богу. Компьютер, смотрите. Что, а можно как-то залезть? Это дверь же? Не получается. Слушайте, но эта игра определенно расширяет, как бы это, границы сознания, я бы сказал. Я правда не понимаю, я свалился, короче. А что если бы я там остался, где-то побродил бы еще? Так это что, тупик, что ли? А если я дверь закрою? Так, ладно, пойдемте назад. Так. Подождите, а чё, правда, здесь тупик 427. Это же мой номер. Что тут делать-то надо? Настя, ты все знаешь, что сделать надо?
Найти свою комнату.
Я нашел. Нет, это не моя комната. Так, ну блин, я тут явно ничего не могу сделать. Ой!
I wonder what he found.
Ой.
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Так это что, вырубать снова надо, что ли? А, она реально сама начала загружаться. А, что за безумие?
Теперь красные двери. Теперь красные двери.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Что за наркомания? Так. Может, что-то откроется на этот раз? Нет? Почему все в листочках?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Не-не-не.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man...
Мог ли мужчина любить
I mean,
комнату?
truly, deeply, madly, love.
Что за, блядь, безумие?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Так, пойдемте прямо снова.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Так, может теперь зайти в красную комнату?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Хотя в синей столько всего интересного было. Ладно, пойдем в красную.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Что-то мне не по себе.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Что происходит? Где?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
А отсюда можно спрыгнуть, да ведь? Нет, нельзя спрыгнуть. Слушай, здесь так красиво. А с краешка спрыгнуть нельзя.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Суицидимся, что ли? Go!
No! Oh. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Что за безумие? Еще раз.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
Блин, мне его даже жалко.
Kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Так, это какой мы прыгаем-то раз? Третий?
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Мне его даже жалко стало. Но мы прыгнем четвертый раз.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Еще одна концовка была. Так, а если вернуться в эту комнату?
Доедьте до конца,
Интересно, будет весело или нет? Так, но мы еще не доехали до конца на этом, на... Короче, как его зовут-то? На подъемном кране на этом.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ну это реально, это безумие, это просто безумие. Если вам кто-то скажет про безумие, типа какая игра ассоциируется у вас с безумием, смело называйте Stanley Parable. Смело просто, потому что более безумной игры просто нету, ее не существует. Сколько всего концовок ты пережил? Уже? Я не знаю, штук 10, наверное, точно было. Я не знаю, что тут можно считать концовками. Тут, короче, какое-то безумие просто.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Так, нет, я пойду в дверь вправо.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Сначала ответь на телефон, а в следующий раз выключу.
Господи. Так.
The lounge was grand, majestic. perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last,
Его немного пошла кровь.
he was human.
Что?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
Он
left.
каждый раз, кстати, постоянно говорит что-то новое, когда мы в той комнате отдыха оказываемся.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Так, ладно. Давайте доедем на этом лифте до конца.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Чё, блин? Чё происходит? Так. Ой, блядь, сука, я испугался.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Там розетка еще есть, смотрите. Так, давайте поднимем. А потом в следующий раз не поднимем.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Жесть! А вот и нет, ты теперь в моей истории. Страшно как.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Доброе утро, работник 427. Нажмите Q на клавиатуре. А я не хочу. Я не могу сюда войти. Она такая ничего, кстати. Я бы с такой жил. Ладно.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Хочу выйти. Выпустите меня.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Блин, это такая аллюзия на современную жизнь большинства людей, на самом деле, что становится страшно. Честно вам скажу. Это вот игра не сколько про безумие, хотя нет, она в первую очередь, на самом деле, про безумие, сколько про вот аллюзия этого безумия на реальный мир. То есть жизнь большинства людей — это реально безумие. Одно и то же, каждый день. Неделя за неделей, месяц за месяцем, год за годом. Вот что страшно на самом деле. Мне кажется, вот в этом что-то есть. Это что-то об этом.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Да, вот игра в первую очередь о выборе, о том, что, в принципе, в любой момент ты, наверное, можешь сделать выбор, другой выбор. То есть в любом случае все зависит от тебя, наверное.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Пожалуйста, нажми тем, чтобы поиграть с сыновьями.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world,
Что
he began to
происходит?
fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Нажмите Z, чтобы спать. Я боюсь, что произойдет, если я нажму Z.
And I'm trying to tell
Ничего.
him that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Блин, мне страшно. А я
You
нажму.
see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Нажми 4, чтобы не задавать вопросов.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Пожалуйста, умрите.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Все? Это концовка. And I tried again, and the Stanley pushed the button. Так, а теперь давайте выдернем провод. Не ответим на звонок.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Почему у меня не появляется вот эта тема с компьютером? Я же вот 2 раза нажал. А еще надо было 3. Куда оно все делось? Там сложно. Погодите. Что-то, да, как-то... Здесь должно было быть 2 двери. Вот именно здесь. Что за фигня?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom.
Va-va-voom.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
У меня такой голос дрожащий.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice will you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best.
Забавно, что здесь работало, кстати, этот переводчик.
Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Danger everywhere.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Да, тут все закрыли, смотрите.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Смотрите, как все расплющило. Это, блин, это реально, это безумие. Так, погодите. То есть двери не закрываются. Здесь ничего нельзя сделать? Войти куда-нибудь? Нет, нельзя. Так, нам остается дверь лево. Окей.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe we talked about that. My story. You've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? So much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to. I'm still here in this pile of rubbish, with you who thought you were so
Это полный трэш! Я абсолютно согласен.
My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Да, я тоже хочу направо пойти снова.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly.
Да ладно! Она просто нас уже брокает, короче.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Еще раз, давай еще раз.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Так, ну третий раз.
Exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly.
Третий раз надо попробовать.
Putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Всегда так будет.
he entered the door on his left.
Так, ладно, тогда пойдем налево. И типа нас приведут в итоге к концовке, которую мы уже видели, да?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
О, смотрите, а там же было запечатано вот эта херня. А теперь она закрыта.
Coming to a staircase, upstairs.
Тут вообще все переделано. Смотри, тут лестницы вниз даже нет. Чувак, закрыли. Вообще все закрыто. Ой, там комната другая.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Слушайте, а так
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver. right there on the wall.
Слушайте, а может реально надо сказать туда? Нет? Night Shark 115. Нет?
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Чего, блядь?
Okay, fine. You're not gonna do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide what things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
А, чё за безумие? Чё происходит?
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make,
Ну что за жесть?
we can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Made and sourced by Valve.
That's all right. I'll wait for you.
This game was made by Galactic Cafe. Nice.
As much time as you need.
Фу. Есть концовка со спасательной капсулой какая-то. Блин, жесть, ну я и так уже 3,5 часа стримлю. Тут явно концовок еще есть какие-то более замороченные. Вот. Слушайте, ну игра просто, блин, безумный шедевр. Шедевр воспаленного разума и с определенной явно философской подоплекой по поводу Дня сурка и вообще реально по поводу выбора в нашей жизни и что он на самом деле значит для нас. Еще несколько с консолями. Я так и не смог консоль открыть. Блин, я не понимаю, как это происходит. Надо задрачиваться, наверное. Но игра очень здоровская. Прямо вот вообще. Я даже не знаю, как ее описать. То есть это что-то такое совсем метафизическое о том вообще действительно, как строится наша жизнь, что везде, наверное, есть выбор и к чему этот выбор может привести. Забавно, очень забавно. Очень забавно. Что ж, так, а что я буду стримить завтра? А это будет сюрпризом. Вот, это будет сюрпризом. Завтра я выйду также в 3 часа по Москве в онлайн. Вот, и то, что я буду стримить, пусть окажется для всех сюрпризом. Но это будет интересно, это я вам точно обещаю, ребят. Это будет очень-очень-очень-очень интересно. Вот, и возможно даже не на один стрим, как говорится. Спасибо, что были сегодня со мной. Вот, было очень весело. Было максимально безумно. Максимально безумно. И я надеюсь, что я зарядил вас позитивом на, как говорится, оставшуюся часть субботы. Вот. Очень на это надеюсь. Что ж, ребят, всем спасибо. Всем до завтра. Повторюсь, в 3 часа по Москве завтра будет мой очередной стрим. Что же мы будем проходить? О боже, что же мы будем проходить? Узнаете завтра. Узнаете завтра. Вот. Так что всего вам доброго, ребят. удачного продолжения субботы. Вечером на тусовку много не налегайте, а то мало ли еще завтра подключиться ко мне не сможете. Вот. До встречи. Буду ждать вас завтра. Пока-пока. И удачного, еще раз, субботнего вечера. Спасибо за стрим. Всего доброго.